Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Episode 3 of Learn HTML, and today we're going to introduce the concept of JavaScript into our code. So let's go ahead and open up our code example exactly where we picked off in episode 2, and let's open it up in our code editor. Again, we see our HTML code, which is providing content onto our screen. We have our style or our CSS, which is giving our website that design or that color, as we can see right here. So now we're going to add functionality onto our page, and this is where JavaScript comes in. So you can say, like on a calculator website, yeah, you see two boxes where you put numbers, and then you have styling making the boxes big, and then JavaScript is what would do the actual calculation to give you the answer. So that's where the role of JavaScript comes, where you do your calculation, your modifications, your functionality to your website inside JavaScript. And today me and you are going to do a very basic JavaScript function just to see how we can connect JavaScript with our HTML code. So the first thing we're going to do is add a new HTML element, and we're going to add a button. So let's just say, if I want it to be what you guys should do, how to add a button in HTML. Press enter, bang, we see our favorite website, W3 Schools. It gives us that code right away. So let's just go ahead and copy and paste and reference that. Let's add that, let's save, and let's see how that looks on our screen. Refresh, beautiful. We have that button on the bottom that says click me. Let's see what happens when I click me. Wait, nothing happens. Then that's what we're gonna add today. When someone clicks on this button, something is gonna happen to the screen. So we have our button on this bottom. Now we're gonna put our JavaScript to add the functionality so that when someone clicks on the button, something happens. Now, if you remember from episode 1, we said that the head has two main things in it: the styling, which we added in episode 2, and the scripting, which is JavaScript by extension. So let's go inside our head and add an additional element, which is going to be called script, or a tag, I should say. So it added the script, and it doesn't matter whether it's on top or below style. It doesn't matter. As long as it's inside of head and it's outside of your ending tag of style, you're fine. So now we're going to add our JavaScript function. The first thing you have to do inside the script tags is add the keyword function, and then your function name, and this can be anything that you want. Let's just name it button click. And the same way where we have to add the keyword function, we also have to put open and close parentheses after the name of our function, and it will become clear in later episodes what these parentheses do, but for now just put them and not worry about them. And the same way how we said in styling or CSS, you have to put the curly braces around your arguments so that it can contain all the functionality only to that styling. The same thing with your JavaScript. You want to wrap everything inside your function inside of these curly braces so that it knows that, hey, when this function is called, only do what's inside the curly braces. So now we're going to add our function, and this function, we're not going to write any fancy crazy code. We'll leave that for future episodes. For today, we're going to use another function that JavaScript provides natively out of the box. They give us this function, they coded it, right? It's called alert. So we're going to call the function alert, and we're going to put the parentheses again, and then inside the parentheses we're going to put quotation, and then we're going to put hi, for example, and then we have to end the line. And in JavaScript, after every line of code, or every time you're finished writing code for that specific functionality or line, you have to end it with a semicolon. So the same way how I said in HTML that all starting elements have to have that ending element, so you can tell your code, okay, this is where that ends. The same thing with JavaScript. You have to tell the code where this line of code ends, and you can do that with the semicolon. So we're going to say, or the function that we wrote said that, hey, when someone calls this function, I want you to alert the message hi. And all alert is it makes a pop-up on our screen that says the message inside the parentheses. So there's step 1, right? We write our function inside the script tags that's inside the head. The second step that we have to do is the same way in CSS we had to use the property class to reference the styling. So if, say for example here, if I didn't put class main header, how would this know to go here, right? How would it know to go there for the styling? The same thing applies to JavaScript. I have to call this JavaScript function in order for it to be executed. So even if I save this line of code, right, and I refresh and I click the button as many times as I want, nothing is triggering this function to be called. So that's why we don't see any functionality happening. However, if I use, in this case, because we're in a button, we want to use the onClick property, and we want to say inside the quotations, the keyword return, and then the function name with the parentheses. This is telling my code that, hey, this button, when someone clicks it, go to this function and execute what you have to, right? And in this line of code, it's only saying alert the user with the message hi. So let's go ahead and save that, go back to our browser, refresh, click the button, bam, there's our functionality. When I click the button, my pop-up, my alert came up, and it had the message that I told it to give me, which is hi. So now you see how JavaScript is inserted into your HTML code and how you can call your function inside the head, inside the script tags, to do whatever functionality you have inside that function. Now, again, this example that we gave was very straightforward and simple. However, in future episodes and future lessons, we're going to add more complex JavaScript code and JavaScript functions. So get ready for that. I just wanted to introduce how JavaScript is inserted into the code and how it connects to each other. So I hope that was beneficial. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in next episode. Peace.